swap left. Hold on, I don't need to do that. See.
My bad. That's cool. What you got going on?
Oh, video call.
Where you looking?
In the middle. Didn't we do that before?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the best. Hang on, don't work. I guess you can't go live then. Because it's like that shit ain't working.
Let me see. No. What did I say?
What's the hell like in that comment? When you put the event in, did you put now or did you put a time in?
It was on now. Video.
Yeah, cause I'll do this. If we can't get it, man, this is record.
Yeah, they gonna let us know.
We can't waste that time fucking trying to find that shit. Like, there's something wrong with the computer or something. Or hang out, I don't know. I got this one. Let me see. I want to take away from the topics and shit that we had fresh lined up.
All right.
Let me see what this look. I think we had to do. Excuse me. It's only gonna be like a. Okay. I gotta get that back a little further. I can't get that though. Maybe you could try to move in, cause I want to get that door either.
Oh, yeah, where?
Yeah. If you do something, it ain't gonna be perfect, obviously this time. But I'll improvise though.
That one.
Oh yeah, you can move that how you wanna.
That one looks dope.
Like yeah, I like the way it looks. So.
Kind of ripping there, and then we got that one there.
Look at the record button. All right.
Can you you mind if I grab it?
Yeah.
And I can rip from there.
All right, cool. That's bad.
Yeah, just make sure my mic's in low. Yeah, and then I'll just rip from here.
And we got that angle, so we got man. All right, so I guess we can let me pull up this shit. Oh, cool. All right, so I get it kicked off, I guess. Peace, family. Welcome to our first episode of Uncensored True Podcast with your brother OGOD and
your brother Sam Ant from Viral Hip Hop News. What it do? Uncensored Truth. We are in the building, man. This feels dope, bruh.
Yes, sir, man.
Dope, man.
Finally here, finally putting it together.
Yes, sir.
And finally about to give y'all something real raw. You know, we really just put this together, out of, necessity. We do a lot of news stories and we really don't get to give our, perspective too much. So we figured that, we will come together, put our resources together and give y'all a very, very dope product, uncensored truth.
Yeah, man, we hope that all audiences, all our subscribers from Hip Hop News, Uncensored, and Viral Hip Hop News, please show your support and jump over the Uncensored Truth, man, where we giving you raw, we giving it to you real, we giving it to you uncensored, and we giving it to you from a perspective that we come from, a perspective that y'all respect, and we ain't gonna give no shortcuts, we ain't gonna sugarcoat a damn thing, we're gonna give it to y'all raw, man. We hope y'all enjoy for real, man. It's gonna be dope, man.
Yes, sir. So let's get into our first topic. We both have done, numerous stories on Meek Mill, and we know first and foremost going back. Well, we had some new developments, but going back, Meek Mill was tried, for supposedly having some guns and like some drugs. It was so long ago, and we know that even back then, a new finding came out that one of the police officers was like on the list of like bad, corrupt cops in the city. So that's one thing. The other thing is with the Judge Brinkley, continuing to pester the hound Meek Mill, almost to nauseum. So we do the videos and they're like 2 or 3 minutes long, but I actually want to speak on it. Like, yo, this shit's fucked up at the end of the day.
Facts.
You know what I mean? This shit's crazy to think like 10 years for somebody having a gun like in one of the worst cities in the world. Like, come on, man. I'll let you go ahead and give your perspective on that.
It's honestly, it just shit seems real petty, to be honest with you. You've seen things in the law and judicial system be thrown away on way lesser occasion, you know what I mean, than what Meek Mill has done. You've seen things get thrown out. We've seen people do murder. We've seen people do way more egregious crime than what he's done, and yet this man sits in jail, losing money, losing time away from his family for a gun charge 10 years ago, riding a dirt bike in New York.
Facts.
And what else did he do? Well, disturbing the peace somewhere to walk. What did he do?
Well, what happened was he, admittedly have a prescription drug painkiller problem.
Okay.
Which he spoke about on Power 99, and he snuck and went to a rehab.
Okay, so he went to rehab. He tried to get himself together. He tried to get himself fixed, which is another epidemic out here in the world that we need to address, and we will later on in the conversation. But to get back onto Meek Mill, it's real sad and unfortunate to have this brother sitting in jail right now, and then we have all of these little rinks and kinkles with the Judge Brinkley allegedly going on and bribing him, so to speak, to get on one of her artists or feature on one of her artists' mixtapes or songs or things like that. Charlie Mack was thrown into the occasion, and he was thrown under the mud, and that wasn't fair because Charlie Mack's a real good dude, real good brother, does a lot for the city of Philadelphia, does a lot for the artists out there in Philadelphia, and for his name to be thrown out to be an ex-con and things like that, those aren't true. So that needs to be addressed right now. He is not an ex-con. He had artists singing in front of Obama and other things like that. He's real dope for the community. So for anybody to be involved with Charlie Mack, that should be no strike on their record by no degree. Understand what I'm saying? So with that said, yeah, man, Meek Mill, free Meek, period. You understand what I'm saying? Free motherfucking Meek Mill. That's it.
Word. So yeah, we're gonna definitely, continue to push that cause. And shout out to Amelly also, and all the rappers out in Philly. Let's come together and make Philly like Atlanta. I know it ain't gonna happen, but
wouldn't that be dope?
It would be.
You know what I mean? You had Outkast, you had Jeezy, you know what I mean? All these people out there that came together and supported one another. Now they on top eating and still support one another. They might have had their little beefs or whatever, but we ain't never hear about them too crazy. Yeah, they always got that shit together.
Yes, sir. But let's talk about this though, this drug epidemic, which I think is the elephant in the room. Matter of fact, it was an article that came out today that said that hip hop music is leading to kids experimenting with drugs. I got to pull the article up real quick because I actually got it through one of my alerts today. And the article said that hip hop music, that kids listening to hip hop music is actually influencing them to try drugs. Try drugs like Percocet, try drugs like lean, and plants like marijuana. But speak on that for a minute while I pull up the article.
Well, it's funny that you say that because you have major labels that put major dollar to artists, to major rappers to perpetuate this kind of use, to perpetuate this kind, like i.e. your Future, who doesn't use it personally, but at the same time will throw out Molly Percocet all day long. You understand what I'm saying? Simply. And gain what? Would he get triple platinum off of that single or something like that? Like, yeah. The thing goes absolutely nuts, and he gets all this fame and recognition. Only on the flip side of that, to now be called the leading cause of a drug epidemic. But we're not going to how these drugs are being manufactured. We're not even going to how these drugs are being manufactured at such a young age in the school system with Ritalin. As soon as our kids run around and do what kids are supposed to motherfucking do, we say they got ADHD. And we give them drugs, and we set them up to get them right, prepped and ready for the major shit leading down the road. and then we blame it on rappers. I mean, come on with that shit, man. Y'all can say that. I mean, do you find the article? Because I love to hear that. The hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I mean, you know, with the whole, you could walk down the street. If you go to your local Rite Aid, which you just brought up, a Walgreens, I'm starting to notice.
Yeah.
CVS is everywhere in our area on the East Coast. Prescription drugs are readily available. You can just go to your doctor and pretty much walk in there and get almost anything you want at this point. So the thing is that what I say, and I just did a dope interview with a rapper, Zay Marley, right here out of the Ville, Jersey.
Shout out to Zay. What up?
Yes, sir. And we spoke about, you know, drug use and, you know, in hip hop and drug promotion in hip hop. And some of these dudes are actually on drugs. We just talked about Lil Wayne taking a picture with Gucci Mane.
Yeah, man.
And him, you know, still with that double cup. Now I don't know what was in the cup. Neither do you. But
we know it was in that motherfucking cup. We know it was in that motherfucking cup. And Weezy had he was cool. We're not giving a fuck on letting us know what was in that motherfucking cup. We all know what that means, man. Come on with that shit, man.
Right.
We all know.
Right. So the thing is like these dudes is really battling with it, and you know, some of these dudes ain't gonna stop. You had a lot of rappers who have died. I know people personally who have died from drug cartels, and a lot of times it's not just one thing. A lot of guys is, you know, mixing alcohol, they're mixing Molly, all these different type of you know, drugs that are just, you know, wiping out. So there's a responsibility that I think goes around. The rappers take a certain responsibility, society, and the parents also.
Yeah, I mean, it goes all of those ways. It goes hand in hand. You have victims out here. I mean, we like to critique a lot of these rappers. We like to talk shit on a lot of these rappers, and we gain a lot of notoriety from doing that. But at the same time, they're people too, and they do deal with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? You have people critiquing you. Like I said, you got the people coming at you every which way for your financial responsibilities. It's just a whole bunch of shit that these artists deal with. And there's demons inside, and like I said, it's so easily accessible to gain these kind of drugs, especially when you're in fame. They get their hands on whatever the fuck they want to get in on, you know what I mean? So for that to be so easily accessible, and for them not to have the right circle behind them, I don't want to even say the right circle, just the right structure. They're trying to tell them, now y'all gotta stay the fuck away from that, man. It's sad, you know what I mean? Right. You can't blame them at the end of the day for wanting to go and get help. Like you said, Meek Mill got in that little bit of shit for going to a rehab. Shout out to him for doing that, because you don't see a lot of people doing that. You had Wayne that had multiple seizures.
Yeah.
You feel me? And still got the cup in his hand. So we ain't out here, you know what I mean, trying to clown Wayne for that. We just trying to shed light on something that's real sad and needs to be addressed out here in the hip hop community, which is drug use among the artists. And them disintegrating and breaking down in front of our eyes. We've seen Rick Ross. You know what I mean? Shed light on that. Rick Ross going to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, not going to jail, going into the hospital. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rick Ross, which was a lot of conflicting stories. TMZ first broke the story that said that Rick Ross, you know, was foaming at the mouth, had chest palpitations or something, breathing, had all the type of shit, crazy shit. You know what I mean? It made it seem like, you know, he was on his way out. There was even a report that came out that said that he, you know, was on life support. And then, you know, Fat Trell, you know, which I broke on Hip Hop News Uncensored. I seen an Instagram post, which is a DC rapper, dope too. Said that he talked to Ross, and Ross was good. So it was like, what are they trying to hide? We were just talking about that in the car. What do you think they're trying to hide with that whole situation?
Well, I mean, trying to hide, that's a real... What would they be trying to hide exactly? We heard reports allegedly in the beginning that he had pneumonia. Then he was on life support fighting for his life with lungs in his heart. You know what I mean? Having machines to keep these things going and where have you. Then we had Big Trail come out, say what he said. Then we had stories that his family wasn't even there. He wasn't even in the hospital. He's getting cloned. We have all this shit. Why can't this brother had just been really sick?
Right.
And been in the motherfucking hospital? I don't understand. Why's it gotta always be something now? I always know that there's two sides to every story, and that shit does happen out here that are right in front of us. That, you know what I mean? It's some funny shit going on, to be, you know what I mean, to be perfectly honest with you. But at the end of the day, why couldn't this brother just be sick? He has had a history of having situations where he's found himself in a hospital. He had that siege at the Super Bowl a couple years back. You know what I mean? So he had situations where his health has gotten on him. So why couldn't that brother have just been in the motherfucking hospital? I just don't understand it. Now, we haven't heard anything from Ross yet. You know what I mean? We've seen a little bling on Instagram. You know what I mean? And him showing what he showed. And shout out to him. We hope he's doing well out here. Shout out Ross. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of conflicting stories.
Do you think it was a publicity stunt on behalf of Rick Ross? I heard that rumor.
publicity stunt. So let's see why it would be a publicity stunt. Is he promoting an album?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. No.
Did he have publicity stunts prior to the last album? That was a dope album, might I add. Shit was dope.
I don't know if he did, but I know rappers that do. Rappers that have admitted it.
It happens.
Yes.
It definitely happens.
Yes.
But why couldn't this big motherfucker just been sick? And fucked up. I mean, we didn't have this conversation about Wayne. When Wayne had them seizures a couple months back, and we had shout out to Wayne, and we hoped everything was okay. That motherfucker legitimately had seizures. He was sick. We knew why. Ross really ain't in a different situation. He might have a different repertoire on what he does, but he really ain't no different situation. He got some shit that he got to fix up too with his health. You know what
Rick
I mean?
Ross, do you think that he's on drugs? You think that drugs is caused? I also seen that. Matter of fact, on my Facebook page, it was like, yeah, like we don't have mercy on him. He's on drugs. He's getting what he deserves.
We shouldn't have mercy on him.
That's what the lady said. I could pull up the comment.
We shouldn't have mercy on him because he's on drugs. Now, you could think what you want about an artist. You could think what you want about how he's getting off. We know William Roberts ain't really Rick motherfucking Ross. We know this. Okay, but we still buy his albums. We still support him. And we still don't want to see him fucking die. At the end of the day, I don't want to see another brother die.
Oh, you don't? 50 did.
So
50 said,
and you know what?
If he dies, he dies.
He ain't said. He just put Drago up there.
He said it.
He made it well and clear.
Okay, insinuated.
And you know what? And shout out to 50 for being who the fuck he is. He's real about it. If that's how he feel. That's how he feel.
Word.
I'm pro life. I don't want to see nobody go. I don't got hate toward nobody for having somebody die like that. That's just not. This is me. You know what I mean? Y'all can think what y'all want. I don't hate him enough for him to fake that his name is Rick Ross and to be a corrections officer. I don't hate him that bad to see that man want to die. I still listen to his music. I still buy his records. I still feed into the whatever the fuck it is that is Rick Ross. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't want to see that brother go nowhere. And I do think he was legitimately sick. And could it be drug use like you alluded to? I'm not there. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, why not?
Right.
He's dabbled into things. We don't know what these stars are doing and what they're getting into. He has something in his health that needs to be fixed.
Well, nigga, get your ass healthy, nigga.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's all we saying.
We all got to get healthy in the black community, man. We all got things that we need to address. And we'll get into that because I'm definitely an advocate vegan. I ain't going to throw that out there and perpetuate it too crazy, but I eat right. It ain't no bones about that. And we will talk about that. But to get into the drug epidemic, and we talked about Meek, we talked about Ross. Let's throw in Nicki Minaj. Let's talk about Nicki a little bit because you talked about her a little bit on Hip Hop News Uncensored. Dope piece. Shout out to you on that one.
Yes, sir.
But you alluded to, was she on Percocets? Was she on rehab for Percocets? And we haven't seen her in a couple months. She had a little bit of a little public appearance yesterday at Jay-Z and Beyonce's concert. Not Jay-Z and Beyonce's concert. They had a show yesterday, or they did like a club release yesterday. And she showed her face. That was on Instagram.
Okay, dope.
But what do you think about Nicki Minaj, man? What's going on with her?
First of all, I love Nicki Minaj, man. I think,
You sound a little, I mean, you love what you as an artist, nigga. What you think? I love.
I mean,
Nicki.
it is what it is.
I love.
But yeah, Nicki's cool, man. In motorsport is when she responded. All we ever wanted to see is her come out and respond. I think the whole Cardi B thing. I think she smashed Cardi on that. I'm just keeping a buck with you on that one. So she responded with music there. But the whole thing about the story, first of all, nobody ever wants to spread lies or anything false about anybody in the industry, but there are some credible sources. All you got to do is go back and listen to people's music. You know what I mean? A lot of people tell you, they say that art imitates life, life imitates art. When you go back and listen to somebody's music, a lot of these rappers, Meek Mill, he's one of them. And ironically, Meek Mill was with Nicki. Now, I'm not going to play the lyrics. I'm not going to go that deep into it.
We could.
Yeah, we could. I'm known for doing shit like that. Like, I can lay the record for you, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? I would rather just, present the story out there and let you decide. And hopefully they go out there and these people, if they do have a problem, that they do seek help because it's an epidemic and it's killing a lot of people out there. But as far as the story, it's just a rumor at the end of the day. Nobody knows if it's true, but there has been rumors that came out of her camp that will suggest that she, is in rehab, and that's the reason why she's, falling back, and that's cool. Get yourself together. I think that's a good thing.
Well, my question would be to the people who think that would be false is why now would she go into hiding, given the rise and the eruption of Cardi B? You got Cardi B out here going crazy. You got the rumors and the questions on whether or not y'all beefing, whether or not y'all cool. She out here dropping single after single. People waiting. She taking for that crown, man.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? I mean, say, we'll talk about it. Load up again. There it is. But yeah, man, we got Cardi B taking the fuck over out here in this rap game. And nobody got an answer for her. That she's taking the fuck over. Now, you got Nicki as being the only one, really. I mean, we got Remy as being the lyricist. We got a lot of different other female artists. But Nicki is the one is going to take that back. And we don't hear from her, man. So why else? Why else would it be?
Right. Well, you know, it remains to be seen. You know, I look at it. But we got to deal with this, though, man. Because I think this, you know, the Black Panther, we're going to talk about the Black Panther thing. We're going to deal with the Monique thing.
Word.
Now, I've been waiting so long because I've been seeing a lot of dudes, man, going in and complaining, man. Some complaining ass Negroes, man. Complaining about everything. Well, this and he did this and that, but not looking at the positive. I even heard some people talking about the money that they got from the movie, and they even compare it to other people, which on the premise is correct, but you got to look at the opportunity and what else it leads to, and what other type of movies that this cast is going to do and come together and do later. That's going to be that's the real consciousness, not these cats just running around. You know what I mean? Calling themselves that, but the people who are doing it through the arts, that are doing it through the film, that are doing it through the music, that's the real consciousness. And that's what that was. It wasn't perfect. You ain't going to get a perfect movie like that until we get our own. But that's as close as perfect as we going to get. You had a society. You had a whole society of people that look like me and you, black people, whatever you want to call them. We got a whole bunch of different names, right? That was totally independent of anybody else. Technology. We didn't need nobody else. We wasn't dependent on nobody but ourselves, and we kept that to ourselves. Ain't that what we want? But see, you got these self-righteous Negroes who no matter what you do, they always got to find something, but they not doing nothing. So I salute the cast. I mean, you know, then you got the whole thing that say Killmonger, the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King thing. Now, okay, I fuck with Killmonger.
Facts.
All day.
Fact.
That you got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, they say, well, this is what I agree with. You know, you talk the smart revolution, a dead revolutionary is a dead revolutionary. You can't do nothing dead. You got to remain alive, man. Mm-hmm. You got to build up resources. You got to build up wealth for your family. It's not a cop-out. That's just what it is. You can't just say you're gonna go out there and because then you're showing your people that you're not a good leader, and that's what it came down to. It was leadership. So they looking at who's gonna lead them, what's gonna be the best benefit for the kingdom, not just him for that his selfish desire. He trying to get back some beef from the past, nah, for the well-being of the kingdom, and that's why I think people will lose it. Okay, they may have not have got that much for this movie, but this movie and this movie and this movie. I mean, think about the endorsement deals they're going to get. I guarantee you each one of them, they're going to make out, maybe not be from the exact paycheck from the movie, but from as a result of the success of the movie, they're going to be paid set for life. Ain't a project to open you dumbass niggas' minds.
I mean, you got Ryan Coogler, shout out to the Oakland brother who wrote a phenomenal movie in Black Panther that just hit the top 10 in gross and selling of all motherfucking time in only 2 weeks. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Ryan Coogler, who's about to sign to begin writing Mansa Musa.
Talk about it, man.
You understand what I'm saying? And y'all out here worried about what? About numbers?
Talk about it, brother.
Y'all out here talking about what? About message? When you got little kids out here talking about, I want to be Black Panther now? White, black, and Asian, and fucking Hindu, and everything else? You understand the subliminal message that was thrown to us in that movie? You understand that white folk, as it was in that movie, wasn't even allowed to speak? That's how much power we had. Oof, 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 oof. And they weren't even allowed to talk. That was my favorite motherfucking part of the movie.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It was so much to take from that movie, yet unfortunately, we always try to pick through and pie through and try to fick a nickel and all through that shit and try to find a negative and find another way to critique one another.
They don't understand military science. They don't understand like some things you have to use, you know, certain people to your advantage. Like if you look at the grand scheme of things, we're being used to somebody else's ultimate advantage.
Right.
They say we're the bottom feeder. So they say, oh, we you know, this person's black, we're not. Nah, we're going to put them in a position and use them where they need to be used. And I mean, that's the same way that everybody else has to think. You can't, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. And that's what they did in the movie. And they held the kingdom at the end of the day. They still had the kingdom, according to the movie. So
now, what do you think to those who would argue about the movie at the end before the credits rolled out, when they were at the United Nations and he said that he was going to share his resources to all the people, and you have those who'd say, why not just share them with Africa? What are your thoughts on that?
I think historically, when you look back at when we did that, when we started to share with everybody, you had certain people who looked at it, who would say, I'll give you an example. They got this uranium, I think it was called, or something like that.
It was called
vibranium.
Vibranium.
It has superpowers. You might have a certain guy with individual mindset that will say, okay, we see all that over there. We want to get to that. So what do we got to do to go get to that? Now, if they don't know about it, that's one thing. But once they know, we got a history of people that are pirators, that are savages, that's going to go in straight, rip it, cutting heads off, chopping shit up,
Facts.
taking.
Talk.
You know what I mean? Look at the scene in the movie about the museum. That's what that was about.
Yeah.
Them taking the art. So it's just like, that would have to be a discussion at the end of the day. That's tough, man. That's very tough. I don't know if I can answer that question.
Okay.
I don't know if I can answer that question sitting here. I mean, I don't know if I could share knowing the history of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you had something that could guarantee that they wasn't going to. I don't know.
Well, let me help you. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's a fucking comic book movie. At the end of the fucking day. Let's hold on. This isn't now as much joy and upliftment and power that it gave black people, and it should have. And it gave me. I seen it twice. I'll probably see it for a third time. I love the movie. I love the message. It deserves to be. It deserves to be out there for no doubt. But it's a Marvel fucking movie. It's a comic book movie. This leads to another movie, which leads to another movie. So let's not get too serious in thinking that when he said, oh, you gonna share everybody else in that Africa? This nigga meant he was sharing it with Iron Man and Spider-Man and Ant-Man. Not the motherfucking white people out here doing this. No, Ant-Man and Spider-Man and Captain America. He's gonna give him a new motherfucking shield. He's gonna give, you know what I mean, the Winter Soldier a new arm. He's about to hook niggas up within the Marvel universe. So let's not get too serious when we get into that premise itself, when we seen him in front of the United Nations smiling and saying he's going to help other people. Because to those who say that, I will argue, he opened up 3 blocks in the city of Oakland in front of the meanest, nastiest hoods in America and said, we are going to run a science program in that hood and give people of our color the means to different sciences and different agricultures to where we can build our own and do it there. He started from the ground. He started in the neighborhood. Y'all worried about the United Nations.
But I heard you saying you had cats like threw all types of wrenches in that shit.
Oh, like what?
I can't even remember. They was like, man, they was African kids or something. He was I can't even remember the type of outlandish shit.
They wanted to help. Wait, they wanted to help African kids as opposed to American kids?
Well, it's a different. Everybody's making a differentiation between Africans in America and Africans abroad now.
Can we just help the Africans here real quick?
I hear you.
I understand. I want to go back to Africa. I want to gain that relationship back with Africa, but we got black folks here, and that word goes to Killmonger, and their argument is we got people at home that we don't deal with. And even Killmonger's dad in the beginning of the movie, when he got into it with his brother, he got sent over from Wakanda as a secret agent, but he seen what was going on to our people here and said, no, we got to help here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So we can't fix our relationship with Africa until we can fix our relationship with ourselves right the fuck here.
I agree.
Understand? Like, I mean, it's crazy.
I agree. Next, though, it's funny you say that. Now, let's talk. We're in Hollywood. We're talking about that genre right now. The Monique, the Charlemagne. Now, we're just starting our podcast, so we're about a week late, but we're still going to tear this shit up. Now, I told you that I was kind of with the panel on that. When I mean the panel, I mean Charlemagne and Angela Yee. and DJ Envy. Everybody else forgets his name for some reason, even though I like Envy. You know what I mean? And DJ Envy, and they was kind of like, "What have you done lately?" You know, Monique. So, you know, what do you think about that interview? Because, you know, I kind of do agree with them to a certain extent, but I do think that was a spit in Monique's face, and excuse my language, to offer her $500,000. That was disrespectful.
That was disrespectful to the highest degree. This woman has won an Oscar. Now, she's been called a headache, but any black person or any black woman that wants what they deserve is a headache, I mean, I think that's unfair to say. I think that we need to look a little deeper into that. Now, she may be a pain in the ass, but a lot of women are. A lot of men are. It is what it is. They want what they want. You cannot be mad at that. Now, my argument, or my one thing I say to Monique is, if you're not getting what you want, stop crying for equality when you are looking for, or you're claiming superiority. Go do for yourself. Now, that being said, $500,000 was ridiculous. And this is a what can you do for me lately kind of league and kind of genre and kind of generation. But my argument to that is that I'm not quite sure. I'm not 1,000%. But what was Dave Chappelle coming off of when he got his Netflix deal? He didn't have a movie. He didn't have any real comedy special. He had the Chappelle. You know what I mean?
How many shows did Dave Chappelle do?
Dave Chappelle smashed.
Right.
Dave Chappelle smashed.
Right.
Dave Chappelle was a legend. Everyone remembered him from the Chappelle show. But then Dave Chappelle vanished, and no one heard from him until we get this Netflix special. So how does he go into seclusion for all these years and demand this dollar, which he deserves?
But didn't, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't they offering him a big deal? Somebody was offering him a big deal before he went away. Wasn't I not mistaken? Wasn't being offered a big deal, but he turned it down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right before he dipped off and seeked righteousness or whatever the fuck he went out there to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he'll even admit that was a dumb fucking idea and dumb decision. And I mean, that's even a little. Would you turn down all that money to keep doing what he was doing on the Chappelle show? Were you a fan of the Chappelle show? I know we never really talked about that.
I never really watched it, man.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't a fan. I just never got into it. I heard like the hype around it.
Shit was funny as hell.
It just wasn't really my thing, man. I'm not really a comedy type of dude. Now, I just seen one that I was going to tell you about, the Marlon Wayans on Netflix. He's a funny motherfucker.
You like that?
Yeah, Marlon's a funny motherfucker.
Now, I was watching a little bit of that too, and I thought he stretched a little bit. I thought he was seeking a little bit, but it was
going
funny.
in.
You thought Marlon was funny? You're not the only one that said that. I'm Marlon Wayans. It was cool. I'm a Marlon Wayans fan. I was listening, and all them brothers are funny, man. Wayans brothers
Kevin
are
Hart funny. You think?
It's Kevin Hart funny. Kevin Hart used to be one of my favorite comedians out there, and I would be a Kevin Hart advocate in the beginning. You know what I mean? When he was in Soul Plane and he started off in the beginning,
right?
And I watched him in a Brigada. You know what I mean? When he was in a real small venue in a humble beginnings, and he tore it up. He was funny as hell.
Right.
I think as his brand grew and as he began to just take over the game of comedy, whether you like him or not, I think that his stuff began to get a little watered down.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I think when you're at the top of the game, you're always going to get criticism. You're going to always, when you're at the top, people are going to criticize you the most. You know what I mean? So when we hear we hear people criticize Kevin Hart, it's probably because he's at the top of his game right now. But we never heard this about Eddie. We never heard this about Richard. We never heard this about the other comedians in the game. But they never also, to his credit, tore it up the way he is right now when it comes to box office and numbers and bread. All
right, we're going to do a session here. We're just going to mix it up. I'm just coming to my head right now. We're going to act just random.
Let's fucking do it.
I think that's going to be dope.
What up? Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about the Martin reboot? Now, let me say what I got to say real quick before I let you go. I think it's gonna be ass. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I think it's just stupid to be clear. I'm not being a hater or nothing. I love the show. I mean, I grew up on the show. That show is me. Yeah. Martin is me. Like if I watch those old episodes of Martin right now, man, like I will be back in like the spot I was back in '97. I think. I think it was '90s. Probably. But anyway, yeah, like yo. So I don't know, man. Tommy ain't there. He's gone. Cole was just ripping Martin. It was a few years back, but he ripped Martin. Talked about how Martin was pretty much fake. Talked about, how, that's what he said pretty much. Like when the cameras come on, to a certain extent, everybody puts a persona on the camera. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good at all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly speaking, man, I'm excited about the thought of the reboot, getting them all back together. It's like a family reunion. Like you said, as soon as you see them back on, it's going to be like a reminisce back to 90. I think they started 94, 95, honestly. A while ago.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And it's going to be dope. And I've done a lot about this on Viral Hip Hop News, and I said that if they were to do a reboot, the only way to really properly do Tommy justice is if you, I mean, we're honest about it and said that he passed away. His character's name was Tommy. His real name was Tommy. You could say that he passed away within that show. It was a number of years ago, and pay homage to him in the right way. Give out his punchlines every now and again. But like you said, will it be ass now? We've seen a lot of reboots be done, and I haven't seen any of them be good. So it doesn't look good for it. The excitement is there. I'm going to look forward to seeing it. But like you said, even Carl Anthony Payne, he talked shit on Martin and dragged him through the mud. So we know how they really feel. So if they come back, it's merely on numbers alone. So I mean, it's just it's. I
know, but then I'm thinking you got Pam, you still got Martin, you still got Gina, and you got Cole.
Yeah. I mean, Martin's gonna have to redo all the characters. He's gonna have to get back in them roles. He's gonna have to do Jerome again. He's gonna have to do Black Belt Jones. Oh yeah,
Martin, my nigga.
Yeah, he's funny as hell.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to see Brown Man back. We're gonna have to see fucking Hustle Man back. We're gonna have to see, I mean, Shanae. Oh yeah. Well, he did Shanae.
That's another thing.
He did Shanae. I mean. Y'all want to see Shanae back? I'm cool with seeing Shanae and Grandma can keep their ass. Grandma could have passed away too. Well, Mama Payne, God rest her soul, she could have went.
That's crazy.
And Shanae's ass could have moved somewhere. Keep your ass where they at. But yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So another thing, what do you think about LeBron James in Philly?
For all the Philly fans, and my brother sitting to the right of me is a Philly fan. He is.
All day.
You know what I mean? He got his first Super Bowl ever. And shout out to him. He deserved it. Yeah. But to think that LeBron James is coming to Philly, out of your fucking mind. It's not happening. His brother is going toward, I don't want to say the end of his career, but he probably got a couple of years he left. He's not spending those years in Philadelphia. When he can go to Hollywood, when he can go to Texas and guarantee damn near a ring if he went to San Antonio, or go to the Lakers and solidify his movie career or broadcast career, whatever he has. And shout out to him because he's doing a remake of House Party. I don't know if you heard that. Shout out to LeBron James. He is doing a remake of House Party, and I am looking forward to that. He said it won't be a reboot. It won't be like it's going to be a new spinoff to House Party, and I'm looking forward to that. So this brother is out here brand stamping. He has a lot of bread. I would love to see him get $1 billion. I'd love to see that brother billionaire one day, and I do see that for him because he's out here making major moves. So I don't see Philly in his foresight. Man, that's just my thing. That's what I see.
That's dope. You got any?
Oh, well, in the boxing world, Canelo Alvarez. I don't know if y'all heard about him. He fought Triple G a couple months ago. You know what I mean? Dope fight. Went to the finish, a draw. But he got tested for steroids, man. He got hit for a banned substance, and he's blaming it on contaminated cows.
What do you think about that, though?
Well, no, he got banned, or he got hit with a drug called clenbuterol. Strengthens you, and I believe it's a cutting agent. You know what I mean? I don't know if he had to slim down for the fight against Triple G or not. We have to look into that. I don't know what the weight was on that. I'll look that up real quick. But to talk about it, we have other athletes out here getting hit with drugs. Johnny Bones Jones just got hit. He's done now. Probably, sadly, would have went down in history as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Was already there, probably of all time, greatest UFC fighter. Was set to probably fight Brock Lesnar. It's going to be major. He fucked that up. But we got Canelo Alvarez, and it's kind of going under the whisper. Oh, my bad. It's just a mistake. Keep it moving on. Now, why is that, you ask? I'm not sure. What do you think about it, OGOD? What's your perspective on that as I look this up real quick? Because, I mean, I want to hear what you got to say.
So he said he's blaming the cows.
Yeah, contaminated. So apparently the cow, because we all know how they beef the cows up and they inject them with keeping them big, that they were injected in Mexico with clenbuterol. And that's how a number of athletes out here are getting caught with that and getting popped with that.
First and foremost, I mean, I'm sure he has legal counsel. They would try to get those tests ordered up to see if that was true first, to see if there's any truth behind it. You know what I mean? And people can make claims all day. You know, and if he could show some type of truth to that, and that is true, and, you know, he did test for that, then he may have something there. But, I don't want to say it's a load of shit right here, because I haven't looked into it deep to really know, if that's the case in Mexico like that. You know what I mean? But, if that is the case, then shit, go for it.
Well, I mean, they're set to fight again on May 5th. Even though the test was positive, this was a report as of yesterday.
So they're still gonna let him
The
rock.
fight's still on.
Okay.
So it really doesn't matter. They've already thrown it under the rug. The drug was clenbuterol that they found in the cow system. It's a great argument. He probably, as you said, does seek legal counsel. He definitely has legal counsel at this stage and age. Definitely. So the argument, the alibi is definitely legitimate. Now, whether or not he did it or not, I'll tell you this. You got millions of dollars being thrown this way, that way. They all fucking cheating some way or another, man. Let's just keep it a bill. They all cheating some way or another. So if he was trying to gain advantage, let's just keep the honor out this fucking equation right now. There's millions of dollars getting thrown away. It's just promoters. The boxing industry's been shaded since day one, even though it's probably one of the most entertaining sports out here. I love boxing. I'm a boxing fan, advocate. Love to do stuff on Viral Hip Hop News about boxing, even though I get flagged for it sometimes, but that's cool. It's all good. You understand what I'm saying? But even though, man, whether he did it or not, it seems to be thrown under the rug right now. And that's a real slippery slope, man. We got people like Johnny Bones Jones, like I said. Now, to that argument, he has been busted multiple fucking times. He is known better. And every time it was an accident. Now, at any point, is it ever you? Like, every fucking time's an accident? Is it any time is it ever fucking you? You're going to claim responsibility at any time. That would be my one argument to Johnny Bones. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was with him. I definitely was with him. You know, somebody might slip something in this thing. But after, like, a few times, it's just like, you know, it's rough. It's rough at the end of the day, but again, I just wish the best for him, man. Hopefully, you know, I mean, we don't have to really do that, man. With our statures and our, you know what I mean? We can just go out and just rock out on all natural stuff. I mean, I'm sure you can, you know, attest to that.
Yeah, man, we don't need it. It's not needed at all. And I mean, unless you live in an extracurricular. He loved the booger sugar. He loved doing the cocaine and all that things. He had extracurricular activities,
right,
that he liked to do that would substitute for anything natural that he could have been doing out here to make sure that he was straight. You understand? Because he was a phenomenal athlete. His brother played for the Ravens. You know what I mean? They just had an athletic family. So for him to go out there and have to do that, man, it's just sad. He threw away a phenomenal career, and this is, like I said, it's just sad. It's fucking sad.
Yeah, and a lot of us get caught up, man. I think a lot of times, you know, and here's a good one too. A lot of us get caught up. You know, they get these millions young, you know, in their 20s. And imagine if we had millions in our 20s. You know,
oh man, yeah.
You know, the stuff you get caught up in. Are you doing this partying all the time, and it's just women and drugs and alcohol? So I can see how it could be easy, you know, to get caught up, you know, in that lifestyle. But Jay-Z actually recently, it was just announced that he just eclipsed Diddy.
Oh shit! In Forbes.
Yep. He just eclipsed Diddy, and he's worth $900 million right now. And really, him and Beyonce already together are already billionaires, just to let y'all know. But Jay-Z is now worth $900, and he's probably going to pass that mark, I would say, within the next 2 years. Jay-Z will be the first, I guess, official hip-hop billionaire. What does that say for hip-hop? 40 damn almost years in, we're just now about to get our first billionaire. And I also want to bring up the quote from Nipsey Hussle, and I'll read it. He said something real dope, but as you expound on it, I'll bring that quote Nipsey Hussle said about Jay-Z.
Well, I mean, a lot of people will choose to complain in a situation like this, or choose to shed blame, or whatever the case. But we have to understand that now, in 2018, for him to be the first black billionaire forthcoming, probably within the next couple of years, like you said, we got to get our business right, man. We got to get our paperwork together. We got artist after artist after artist after artist that have made these record labels billions upon billions of dollars, and we're seeing the first black artist or first black billionaire in music is outlandish. It's crazy to even think about, and we can go even into athletics. We talk about the athletes that have made millions and millions of dollars. Jordan probably is Jordan the only black billionaire athlete? Probably. Jordan won.
Yep.
LeBron coming up. You know what I mean? And we see all these athletes with these guaranteed contracts, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. These brothers should be billionaires, man. They should be billionaires.
Easily. Yep, definitely.
Did our camera go out?
Yeah, but we can, you know, we edited so.
Yeah, word.
I just need that. Hand me that thing behind you.
Gotcha.
Take a little quick 2-minute intermission. I think it's going dope though.
Yeah, rock out for 10, 15 if you want.
Yeah. All right. We got to leave soon, right?
Yeah, like 1:30.
All right, cool.
We burn one more time.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me see what I want to do. Oh, I want to do
I was
this.
going to do the Jay-Z, and then what Nipsey Hussle said, we can be done after that.
All right, cool. Do the play. plug and get up out of here.
Yeah. So that's next time. I mean, for critiques of myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have information already lined up. Everything we gonna do for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't gotta freestyle.
Right.
Have it
And we can play this shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever we had.
But now the flow is dope.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it.
Getting in and out.
Yep. Chemistry stuff. Yeah.
I like that. Only got 1%.
Yeah.
You want smoke, let it charge it, and do a plug and get up out of there, or?
That's still recording.
Oh, is it? Which one?
That one. The Google Hangout was still recording.
Oh, okay. Where?
We'll get as much as we can.
Yeah.
Let me plug this coffee real quick, then I'll open this up and do.
Gotcha.
Also, I want y'all to go to the website. It's hiphopun.com and check out our first official product. We got on the market our own coffee roast right now.
Yes.
hiphopun.com right now. This is our product. Go check it out right now. You see it. And we got all types of different roasts. Yes. Hey.
Go get that.
Yes, sir. All right. So, Nipsey Hussle, wrote on his Instagram about Jay-Z. And I just want to take my time to read this to the folks, to the family out there. 'Cause it touched me, you know what I mean? And not on no emotional soft shit, but it's just like, we got to look at what Jay-Z is trying to do. What he's trying to do with Tidal, what he's doing with Rock Nation, what he was trying to do with Def Jam. You know what I mean? It's always, again, you got to listen to what these dudes are saying. I listen to the music. We listen to music. We ain't just listening to the beat. I like the lyrical content. I'm not a mumble rapper, type of person, but Nipsey Hussle said, I look at hip-hop and I don't see a vertical integrated brand other than Jay-Z owning Tidal, owning his masters, and owning everything in between it. Jay-Z owning Tidal was ahead of his time, and people still don't get it. You hear people taking shots saying he only has a few million users, but that's not even the point. That doesn't even matter. Even if he only had a fan base on Tidal, he's still vertically integrated, and the first, that's the power. He said, and he's the first. That's the power being directed to the consumer. He now exists outside of the current ecosystem. And there are so many revenue streams that these platforms are a part of. The subscription is just one of them. Obviously, he's talking about the monthly subscription service, right? He said, if you judge Jay-Z as a brand alone, technology aside, the ability to deliver within its own ecosystem is a powerful. This is what he wrote. I'm not reading it wrong. He said it's a powerful. Then it's period. He doesn't have to play the game. He could be his own artist for real. And it's a little more here, but that's, we get what he's saying.
Right.
With that. And when we look at Tidal, let's just look at Tidal. You talking about now, first and foremost, you got Tidal, you got Spotify, and Apple.
Right.
Spotify and Apple are the big boys, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Tidal's dope. I got Tidal.
I got Tidal as well.
I got rid of Apple. We got the computers, but
right.
When it comes to the music, I deal with Tidal.
Tidal. What I mean?
Yep. And Jay-Z actually did something genius because it was a promotion that they did. I forgot, it was like 6 months ago.
The 444 one.
The 444 promotion where they got people to try it out, and now we got it. Yep. You pay a couple more dollars a month, maybe.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even know. What
you don't even know. Who cares, right? It comes out.
Tidal's a shit.
And this is his platform. So what he did was, again, we talk about owning our master. We talk about distribution, which is another thing that we have to deal with, the music distribution, because Dame Dash actually touched on that. You know what I mean? When we tried to get our whole distribution together. Mm-hmm. But this is what Jay-Z's trying to, if you don't see it, if you don't see the genius of what he's doing, he's building something up that we can have for ourselves that's outside of what they got. They got Apple, we got Tidal. When they had different clothing, Jay-Z, he did his own clothing thing.
Sporting.
Liquor. Sports management. Mm-hmm. You know, just management in general. You ain't got to be, you know, just and also you know, the Breakfast Club clip that we both have, you know, posted on our channels for reference, where Jay-Z, you know, spoke about the reason why he actually did create them. And next time we will actually do a whole segment on that and play that clip.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it in depth.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get your opinion on that. Go ahead, brother.
It definitely depths into that what Nipsey Hussle said. And a lot of people, like you said, they don't really see the bigger picture. They don't understand what the fuck's going on. Everyone wants to criticize and not just take note. You understand what I'm saying? If everyone just took note of what he was doing, imagine what we would have. Black Wall Street all over again. Things would start beginning to happen in our favor where we wouldn't have to complain. You wouldn't see a Monique situation in the cry. And I don't want to say the cry, but just the, you know what I mean? She's out here looking for acceptance and looking for deals. It wouldn't have to be that. It wouldn't be none of that. It'd be writing her own. She would get what she felt like she deserved. Now, did she deserve the top is the Chappelle's and Chris Rock's? Hell no. But she deserved way more than $500,000. She would have that if we had a little more say. And that's what Jay-Z is just trying to do with your sporting agencies, with your titles, with your with all the different avenues, the clothing lines, the different avenues he has going on right now, trying to give that blueprint, no pun intended, on how to really get this shit done. And he's definitely a mentor, and we take note of that here. Not trying to dick ride by any sense of the imagination, but if you got a brother out here doing this and setting the blueprint to make billions, y'all dumb as hell not to follow that. I mean, dumb
with
as hell.
Jay-Z in his song, they grass is greener because they always raking in more. You know what I mean?
Facts.
He talked about Prince. Is another thing. How Prince, you know, these rappers are just fighting. I mean, artists are just fighting for their own rights to music. Did they sit down on their computers most times in their studios and they create? They got to give, you know, 60-70% to some, you know, guy sitting up somewhere and who knows?
Not knowing nothing was going on.
Right.
Nothing. And not even understanding what the fuck you talking about. That's real.
So you see companies like Revolt, shout out to Diddy, This Is 50, you know, companies, you know, that are separate. Hip Hop News Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News.
Word.
Yeah, you know, these are separate companies that we own. There's no corporate influence at all, you know, on it. So the more we have those, the more media companies, you know, that we have, the more better we're gonna be because we have our own. We don't have to look per se to Hollywood. You got places called Bollywood. I think India. They created their own. Africa, South Africa, they got the people creating their own. Stop complaining and create your own. That's what Jay-Z did with Tidal. That's what he did with Rock Nation. That's what he did with Rockefeller. Look at Dame Dash, one of the most shrewd. We want to get you on the show too, Dame.
Fact.
We want to get you on Uncensored Truth podcast. One of the most shrewd businessmen out there. Like, they can't handle him. But we do got to talk about Dame, though.
Yeah, we can't wait to have him on the show to talk to him in depth.
Yep.
Because we talk to about him in length because he's definitely someone we look up to as well. But we have questions about his business. We have questions on how he does certain things, but nonetheless has gems and speaks facts. How you gonna be a boss to your kid when you answer to a boss? That's one of my favorite lines he ever said. How can you have your son look at you like a superhero when you got a boss? That shit woke me up to, man, I appreciate you, Dane, for that. That was one of the dopest interviews I ever heard. But yeah, we would definitely have him on here on Uncensored Truth. As you see, the set's popping, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
just getting started. Hip Hop News, Uncensored, Viral Hip Hop News, the Uncensored Truth CEOs in the chairs, giving you raw, real, uncut perspective from where we come from, man. It's a blessing, bro. I just want to thank you.
Sir.
Thank everyone out there, man. We about to take the fuck over. You already know, man.
You already know what it is. And we got the coffee blend. You got to get it right now. Real talk. Go on the website right now. I'll leave it in the description box of all the videos. hiphopun.com to get your our first original coffee blend. Also, we got some dope articles. A lot of people like to read. I like to read articles myself.
Too, yeah,
right.
Up.
So, you know, some articles over there if you peruse to check out, and make sure you definitely you know, go check it out.
Facts. And y'all stay tuned for the next podcast on Uncensored Truth. We getting things popping. It'll be more to come. You know what I mean? We building. Things are getting built. But as you can see, man, we coming at y'all, and we ain't gonna stop.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned for all the social media outlets coming soon. Those are getting built as well. Uncensored Truth on IG, Snapchat, Facebook, all the outlets. We're gonna get that popping for y'all as well.
Right in the description box, right below.
Right below. Twitter, you already know.
Yes, sir.
Sandman, OGOD. We appreciate y'all, man. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Just make sure you go in the description box and follow us right now on all our sites. We'll be rocking out.
We out here. Peace.
Rap.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, you want to just blaze and then wrap this up? You want to wrap it up? Then we'll blaze. Wrap it up? Yeah. Like, you don't feel like doing shit after that. After you play.
Then go get this one nigga and grab the coffee.
Yeah, that's what grab me. That was dope, man.
Yeah, dope. The only thing I'm getting on my nerves is this sheet.
Yeah, I know. We'll fix
but
that.
We can clamp that, and that won't be nothing.
All right.
The black and white, I think, is dope, even though we'll have our extra sheets. You know what I mean? We can do whatever.
Okay.
So, it's going to come, man.
Definitely.
The mic sound.
I'm going to leave this here.
Word.
I just one thing I want to do. I want to leave this plugged in, I guess.
Okay.
Next time we come back.
The mic sound fucking dope.
Yeah.
The mic sounded dope. We were even peaking. I had to turn this down sometimes. Once we started getting popping, that shit running. I was like, yeah, these niggas cooking.
Let me make sure I turn that off. That's good. It will sound so you, or you gonna have to put your headphones in and actually listen right there. Yeah.
But that'll be dope too when we can hear through the headphones. That's another dimension.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix some of them shits up. So.
Yeah, let me know which one you grab.
Yeah. They be having them on sale at Best Buy or 100. I forgot what brand, but I heard they're the best brand.
Right. Alright.
They were saying it was even better than Beats and less money. I believe it's always like that.
It's always like that.
Yeah. See this. So what's the want to set the next day now or?
Let's think about it. Let me think. Megan Works.
I definitely want to keep on it because we got a lot of content there, but
yeah, we got to load up.
Yeah, because remember it's not a video, it's a podcast, so it's longer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotta have it at least an hour or so.
Right.
Megan Works 9 to 5 tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you want to do an evening ride, we could do it. There she works 9 to 5 for the rest of the week. Friday I'm going to the tax spot, I think.
Alright, cool.
Saturday she works 1 to 9.
What time you out to the tax spot?
Trying to get out there like 6:30. So
Alright.
Just a little early this time to do a ride out.
I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah.
Take the camera out there, we can do maybe.
Yeah, oh, they would love that. They
Just
just love that.
Let me turn this off. Come on.
Give me time. My nigga smoke outside.
Yeah.